Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to the Mr. Maple Show. Today, we're on location at Buchholz Nursery. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite variegated conifers.
If you love variegation, smash that like button. Make sure you're shopping with us on MrMaple.com. We add 10 new trees every Tuesday and many Thursdays as well, so sign up for our weekly emails on MrMaple.com. Guys, we've got Pinus densiflora Golden Ghost right here beside of me. It's one of the most variegated Japanese red pines of them all.
Golden Ghost may be one of the most variegated pines of all time. This thing glows in the landscape, especially in that spring garden. You're going to want to give this one some protection from that hot afternoon sun in many locations, but it is a showstopper. This thing is yellow right now and it hadn't even reached its peak. Wait till you see this tree in early spring. It will knock your socks off.
Now this one has a unique variegation being a variegated pine. It has a banded variegation. So you'll see bands of yellow in the green needles. So you get the green needles and the yellow on the same tree, providing a dynamic contrast and really glows out here in the landscape, especially when you have a nice cloudy day like we do here at Buchholz Nursery.
Let's go check out some more variegated plants in this garden. But wait, before we do, if you like variegated conifers, you better hit that subscribe button. We're going to keep bringing it here on the Mr. Maple Show. All right, y'all, this is one of my favorite variegated Hinoki cypress. This is a true miniature as well. It's got great variegation. This one is Moonshine.
Moonshine has green regular foliage with white creamy variegation on top of that. It just shines out there in the garden. Being a dwarf Hinoki cypress, it's excellent for bonsai. It's excellent for the traditional Japanese gardens. It's an awesome tree to use out there to add the traditional essence of a Japanese garden with that extra flair of that creamy white variegation.
Now this is one of the biggest ones. Typically this tree is only 1.5 feet in 10 years. It's a Buchholz introduction here in Buchholz Gardens. Absolutely love this plant. Now this Hinoki cypress is going to work zones 3 through zones 8, and it does pretty well in shade too. We found this one doing pretty well in some shadier spots here in this garden. So if you got a shadier garden, it is a Camas obtusa that may be able to handle a little bit more shade than some others.
This tree is just going to rock it out. If you're a variegated plant lover, this tree adds that small miniature conifer to add to your garden with that extra flair.
I love this in small containers. Put this one in a little pot. You can move it around. You can play with it. Absolutely love what this one brings. Makes a great pairing in a miniature trough garden. And it's slow growing. I mean, 1.5 feet in 10 years, often by about 2 to maybe even 3 feet wide max. Very small compact habit in that 10-year frame. Lovely plant. Think about a moonshine to put a spark of color in your garden.
Let's go check out some more variegated conifers. Next up, guys, I'm standing beside Pinus parviflora Tanim No Yuki. This is one of the most outstanding variegated Japanese white pines of them all. It has white variegation in the blue-green needles that makes this tree look like snow on a mountain, which is what the name translates as Tanim No Yuki. This Japanese white pine has so much variegation that sometimes you may need to get some protection from the hot afternoon sun. Here at Buchholz Nursery, they actually planted this Pinus parviflora Tanim No Yuki underneath this larger Hamamelis Arnold's Promise. Guys, this is such an amazing Japanese white pine. The variegation is one of the most outstanding. Because of that, this is a very slow grower, typically reaching 3 feet by 3 feet in 10 years. To me, this is one of my favorite Japanese white pines because it brings so much variegation and the shape that everyone loves with the Pinus parviflora. It is a variegated plant lover's dream and a tree you should definitely be trying from MrMaple.com. Next up, guys, we've got Pinus parviflora. It's a Japanese white pine called Tanu Kazu, often referred to in the nursery trade as Goldilocks.
Guys, this is a beautiful tree. Now, this is a Japanese white pine that's going to work zones 5 through 7. It is a showstopper for that color. At 5 to 6 feet tall in 10 years, this one's not too big. It's not too little. Goldilocks is just right. You're going to love this variegation in your garden. Absolutely love the yellow golden hues this one throws on.
The golden hues show up so well on this Japanese white pine. It has a lot of white blue color in there, some nice silvers, and that golden color stands out so well with Goldilocks, which makes this tree stand out from many of the other Japanese white pines.
Now this tree actually originated in Japan, but our good friend Billy Schwartz is often credited with getting this one into the American markets. It is an outstanding plant. I like the name Goldilocks too. It's got a fun little vibe going on to it. You know, a lot of people like that backstory, so you can kind of play with the Goldilocks theme in the garden, kind of have that enchanted garden feel to it. Absolutely outstanding color patterns on Parviflora Goldilocks. Surprise, surprise, it's Van Huey Smith. This variegated arborvitae is going to work zones 5 through 9 and has an outstanding color pattern to it. I absolutely love the darker green with that bright yellow. We've got this as a border around Mr. Maple. These trees are absolutely outstanding. I love the color patterns they bring. Pairs amazing with pretty much everything in the landscape because the color is so striking, especially here in late February.
This is one that you'll want to take a camera out and take some photographs of this thing up close. Each of the spawns of the foliage, every single part of it has a unique variegation all to itself. It's outstanding, it's uniquely variegated, and it will grab everyone's attention in the garden.
Those spawns be spewing. Let's roll. All right, y'all, we talk about this one a lot, but no variegated conifer video is complete without Chamaecyparis nucitensis Sparkling Arrow. Buchholz on introduction, absolutely outstanding variegated conifer.
This is a weeping Alaskan cedar. Some people call it Compressus nucitensis. Whatever you call it, this is an amazing, amazing variegated conifer. It was found as a variegated sport on the cultivar Green Arrow. So it has that same narrow shape, but it also has this outstanding yellow-green or yellow variegation on the green foliage. It is outstanding for its narrow upright shape, adding that unique vertical interest. But then again, it adds that extra flair again with that awesome yellow variegation.
Now this tree is going to work zones 4 through 8, and it's an outstanding tree with around a foot of growth a year. Typically 10 foot in 10 years, but only about 1.5 feet wide. You can see why this monumental tree gets talked about so much. I absolutely love it here. It's in one of the main gardens here at the Buchholz Gardens because we want people to see this one as soon as they get here. It's easy to get excited and fired up about variegated conifers when you see Sparkling Arrow.
This plant really has this really narrow shape. Sometimes it will develop a skirt down low. We often recommend pruning that out to really accentuate how narrow this tree is all the way up towards the top. It's a fun tree to use out there because it makes you look throughout the entire landscape with its really narrow profile. It is one of those plants, it's evergreen, it adds vertical interest, and it's variegated. So if you're looking for any of those things, this tree is a great tree to put in your garden.
Guys, if you like variegated plants, especially variegated conifers, you better be subscribing here on the Mr. Maple Show. Like, ring that bell to get notified we add new things. We bring these variegated conifers to Mr. Maple all the time, so be signing up for our emails on MrMaple.com. We're always bringing back some crazy conifers.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.